Hey guys, I'm looking a little rough and that's okay. I just wanted to play in some makeup and I didn't feel like getting ready. It's just one of those days, you know? So I thought we could talk, play in some makeup, and maybe talk about a little bit of true crime because I have that on the brain. But I also want to talk about some makeup I forgot about. So let's do that. So I didn't really forget about this. I just have so much eyeshadow. It's hard to cycle through it all, especially when I get on a kick of using one particular palette. But this is a great palette from Natasha Denona. It is her Biba palette. I did not pay the retail price on this. Does she still have it? Is it even still for sale? I don't know, but it was on sale and I got it, and I think it might have been around Christmas of 2021 when I got it. So I have a friend who asked me to take and do like by row, do an eyeshadow look. So what I want to do really quick is just do a quick eyeshadow look out of each row. And so I'll do 2 looks, take those off, and then I'll do one that I'm going to keep on. I'm going to start with the middle row. I'm going to start with this middle row. Okay, so I'm going to take this first shade here. Well, it's not the first. If I hold it up correctly, it is this shade here. It's called Tone. And it is a cream to powder, and I really come to love cream to powders. If you have trouble blending these, use a synthetic brush. I find those really work well. But also use an eye primer. See, I just used a fluffy brush with that one, and easy as pie. Okay, next I'm going to take this shade here called Buff. And that I'm just going to kind of deepen the crease with, and I'm using a little bit more of a stiffer blending brush. And I'm taking that stiffer brush yet again, and I'm going into this shade here called Pasha. And I'm just tapping that on this outer corner. If you ever blend and it's not completely blended like you want, just go back with your fluffier brush and just kind of fluff the lighter color over it. I didn't put any extra product on this. I'm just kind of blending. I forgot to tell you I washed my brushes too. I have clean brushes. Then I'm going in with this middle shade called Rayon. It's also cream to powder. And that's going in the outer corner just to kind of deepen things up a bit. Then I'm going to take the shade called Monroe on my finger, and I'm just going to press it over all the rest of the lid. Then if I'm really wanting some definition, going in with a liner brush. I have used this since I washed it, so I just cleaned it off a little. I'm going back in with that Rayon shade, and I'm going to make a liner. And I know I said I'm staying in that middle row, but if you got the whole palette, you don't have to necessarily do it. I'm going to go down here to the Seed shade and just get a little bit more depth. I'm going to mix these two. That way if I mess up the wing, I can just clean it up again. So that's pretty much all the shadow I'm doing. And that would be a beautiful look. And if you see my awful hair, just overlook it. Okay, so let's go to this top. If you're holding it correctly, it would be the top row. I'm going to take this shade called Prairie first. Let me share this tip with you for anybody out there who is just needing a good tip. If you ever blend too high, which I'm okay with that, but if you feel like you get it up a little bit too high, take a bone shade, a skin shade for you, close to your skin tone. So my skin tone may not be yours, but take that and then just kind of go along the outer. Sorry if you hear my husband upstairs. Go along the outer portions, and that just helps with blending. I like to do this anyway, whether I went up too high or not. It gives me a seamless blend sometimes when I'm a little lazy. I'm going to take that same like stiffer brush, and I'm going to go into Freckle. I love this shade. It's one of the best ones in here. That's going in the crease. And I probably am just going to kind of leave it in the outer portion. Not take it all the way in. See how deep that can get? It's not super deep, but for that shade. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this middle shade here called Cocoa. And I'm taking an even smaller blending, like pencil, not really pencil brush, but it's a little bit dome shaped brush. And this is going in the outer corner. I find with my eyes, I like to keep the depth on the outer corner and the light on the center. I've done the halo look and it's just not flattering to my eye, so I don't do that a lot. I stick with what I know, what I like. I also have a watering eye, so if you see that, I apologize. Sometimes it makes my shadow look a little bit crazy out here in the corner too. Okay, and then I'm going to take Rustic on my finger here. And that's going to go kind of middle of the lid. You know what? I'm going to put it over the rest of the lid. I know I said I like to keep it a little bit light, but let me show you something. See how pretty that is? I just love kind of a deeper smoky look too. Do you see the difference in this eye and that eye? This one, it looks more lifted because I have that line out here. So in my particular eye shape, it lifts my eye. Some people don't like it, and that's okay, but I'm one that does. So I'm going to take this Spot shade, which is a black, and it is cream to powder, and I'm going to do a line with this. See how that just kind of lifted my eye? So pretty. So I didn't use this shade, so let's use it. It's called Shine, and I'm just going to tap that just a little bit over that shade I have in all over the lid. So it's still deep, but you have a little bit of something, you know, little dimension there. And also you could highlight the brow bone. I don't have my brows done, but we'll pretend that I do. And you can do the inner corner with that. And then same with the shade, that Monroe shade over here, we could do brow bone, inner corner. And then a little bit different, you know, you have some wiggle room and dimension. Now, if you just wanted to do something simple with either of these rows, let me just tell you what I would do. I would probably just take Tone, put it in my crease, and then just take Monroe and put all over the lid. If you want a little definition out there in the corner, take either Pasha or Rayon out in the corner just to deepen it up. Don't do a line, just leave it simple. Same with this row here. If you want to do something simple, take Freckle. That's probably my favorite transition shade in this palette. Take that, put it in the crease. Although I love this one as well. I love Prairie. But take Freckle, then take Freckle would be in your crease, then Cocoa would be out in the outer corner, and then just tap Shine or Rustic all over your lid, like I did the Rustic all over, and then I'll put Shine on top. You could do either or and just leave it that way and be very simple about it, and you don't have to do anything too elaborate with it. So this is what I would do. Imagine it with a lash. I don't have any lashes, and I'm not going to put mascara on just to wipe it off, but just kind of imagine it with some lashes. It would look really beautiful. That's super simple and easy. On the bottom lash line, I'd probably put the darkest shade to my lashes and then just buff it out with the same in the crease. Call it a day. So simple. Okay, so let's focus on the bottom row. So first and foremost, I'm gonna take Tusk, this lightest bone color shade for me, and I'm just gonna kind of put that all over the lid. I mean, everybody's bone is that color, Whitney. That was a very stupid comment, I know. I was thinking skin tone and I said bone. if you are not familiar with Natasha Denona shadows, they are very, they have a lot of kick up. So if you're not familiar, I just wanted to make that known to you so that you wouldn't be taken off guard by it. So I'm going to take this shade here called Sculpture. Same fluffy brush, and this is kind of going out in the crease. I might bring it all the way in. No, I'm going to leave it in this outer portion. I'm taking a smaller blending brush, going into Tour, and this is Cream to Powder. I don't know if you can see it, sorry. Same thing, deepen in the crease. And the outer corner. Did I tell you guys synthetic brushes earlier about Cream to Powder? I think I did. Natural hair. Natural hair for Cream to Powder, if I can talk. So we have some warm tone browns in here, and then we have this cooler tone brown. And I'm debating if I'm going to use it, and I think I'm going to just because it's in that bottom row. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use it. I'm going to suck it up. Called Seed. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on this outer portion yet again just to deepen things up. Okay, I'm taking a little bit of eye primer here and a little tiny brush like this. And I'm going to carve my crease. I wish I had just a little bit lighter than this shade. Like I would like even a lighter shade of bone for me. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into this Monroe, and that's what I'm going to put on the part that I just cut out. And then I'm going to take the black, which is called Spot. Again, I'm going to do a wing. So there's that. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. So I've used every shade in this palette. I love this palette. It's so beautiful. I'm a neutrals girl, and this is a neutral palette. So, of course, one of my favorites. Okay, we're talking about makeup I forgot about. I forgot about this She Glam Birthday Skin Primer. So we're going to use that today. Here's what it looks like. My skin is having a breakout of sorts. So okay, so next, I forgot about this completely. This is the Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie foundation. It's actually foundation and concealer, so you could like use the doe foot on it or the pump if you were going to use it for concealer, of course. Let's see what it looks like. So what true crime are you guys following right now? Because I'm following a lot. I've been watching a lot of old 48 Hours. And then also I've been watching, there's not a whole lot of updates in the Idaho 4 case right now. But I've been watching that. And then, the Murdaugh trial. Murdaugh. They say it both ways, so who knows what it is. It was not just because it's popular and trending right now. I became acquainted with it because somehow I came across this guy named, I think his name is Eric Allen on YouTube. I'll link him down below because I really like the documentary he did. But he started doing this Murdaugh documentary, and that's how I got to know about it. And so I was waiting on his documentary series every time he would post a new one. So that's how I became acquainted. He's just really good. I like how he tells the story. He's from that area. Okay, I like that foundation. I'm going to use my Tower 28 Bronzino West Coast bronzer. So he tells the story really well. I enjoy his take on things and how he really brings things out. He this past weekend I spent some time with my mom watching his documentary because she hadn't seen it before, so I introduced him to her and she loved it. This is beautiful. So beautiful. I have too much stuff and I can't remember what I have, and that's my problem. The SheGlam Color Bloom Liquid Blush. I think they have different containers now, but I've not used it in so long. I'm going to use it today. It's in the shade Risky Business. So, the whole Murdaugh thing. He was a solicitor in South Carolina, and it's very close to Hilton Head, South Carolina. And my husband and I have vacationed in Hilton Head and really love the area there. I've actually drove through some of the towns that Eric Allen speaks of in his documentary. And this family was a very wealthy family, a very prominent family. The solicitor is like the DA, but they're like the DA for 5 counties instead of just one. And so his family had held that position for quite some time. I think this guy, actually, Alex Murdaugh, he was just like assistant DA. He wasn't actual DA, but his family had been DA for quite some time. And so he got himself into some financial troubles, and as a lot of people do who have a lot of money. Not everybody does, but a lot of people do. And the more money you have, the more problems you have. Thankfully, I don't have that issue. But he also had a drug problem, I believe, so that was part of his issue. Yeah, so this Dominique Cosmetics concealer, it's not exactly my shade, but I forgot I had it, and I've not used it since I did get it. It's a little deep. I had the shade Cappuccino. I do like the cooling effect of the wand, though. I'm going to put a little bit of this one that I've forgotten I had too. It's the KVD Good Apple Concealer, and it's a little lighter, so I'm going to mix that in, and that'll help with that. So anyway, this guy, his family has found themselves in a lot of financial issues, but also in a lot of just issues, period. They've had a lot of bad stuff come their way. So anyway, is it just chance, or, you know, is it of their own making? But there's a lot of things tied to them. A lot of deaths have been tied to them. Again, is it just by chance, or is there more at play here? So his son was actually being charged in the death of a young girl, a 19-year-old girl who got killed in a boating accident. His son was the driver in that accident. And 3 days before his son was set to go to trial, I believe it was the trial, at least go to court, his son and his wife were shot and killed. So conveniently, he has an alibi, but his alibi is his mother, who is sick with dementia, Alzheimer's. So that's a little bit problematic. He was also conveniently taking a nap at the time this all transpired. His trial's going on right now, so that's why it's kind of on my mind, at the forefront of my mind, I guess. And I've just been watching the trial, and you know, the prosecution's laying out their case right now, so you know, things are just getting started there. But I'm interested to see how this is going to go. The day that this all happened with his wife and son being murdered, he had been confronted by his law partners in his law firm, because he also had a private law practice. He was confronted about stealing money from his clients. Yes, you heard me. The SheGlam Insta-Ready, I'm just going to use the pressed powder on here. I just remember liking this, and I've not used it in a while. I'm going to use my little powder puff on it too. Another death he had been tied to was his housekeeper, who basically helped raise his children. And this woman tripped, who knows if she actually tripped, but she tripped and fell down some steps at his house and subsequently passed away from that fall. So he goes to her sons, her children, I don't know exactly, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna take responsibility, sue my insurance, and I have a lawyer you can use, and you know, we'll get this taken care of. And so he sets him up with a lawyer who just so happens to be his son's godfather. He had a fake bank account he was depositing these checks in once these insurance companies were paying out. So they successfully sued the insurance company for this lady, for the lady's family, but the lady's family never got any of their money. They didn't know that they had even been awarded any money. So, you know, he's also been indicted on many financial things. I really like that under the eye, by the way. The only reason I don't want to use the loose powder is it's a little bit dark and it deepens my complexion. If you can see. It deepens my complexion. I wish I got a different shade. I have the shade Bisque in this. And I just don't want to deepen it. It's looking pretty good, so I'm going to keep it looking good, hopefully. So here's another one. I'm just going to pull out all kinds of stuff. Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent. Love this. You know, what's going to happen? What's going to happen here? Who knows? It just seems so, I don't know, just coincidental, but not really coincidental, just fishy. That's the only word I can think of. Fishy. It's fishy that all these things have happened to people around this family, and they're, you know, of course not the financial stuff. That was intentional, obviously, and he will be tried for those crimes as well, but he is being tried for committing murder for the death of his wife and child. These were very gruesome murders, so I'll just give you like a warning on that if you haven't heard about this and you're getting ready to look it up or something. Just FYI. Very gruesome details. And if he did do it, how can a father do that to their own child? How can a wife do that to, how can a husband do that to his wife? But how can a father do that to their own flesh and blood? I'll never understand. He is innocent until proven guilty. I am kind of leaning toward his guilt. Of course, as always, he's innocent until proven guilty. And he's not been proven guilty yet. He's not been convicted. So we can't say that he is guilty. So, have you heard about this? Well, what do you think? Like I said, I'm leaning toward guilty. I forgot I had this little tiny NARS Laguna bronzer. So let's try this out. I believe this man is a lawyer who thought, okay, I've tried enough criminal cases. I've seen the other side. I can cover my tracks, and he did a very poor job of doing so. That's my opinion, by the way. I keep stating that because I don't want anybody to be like, you know, little tiny bronzer packs a little punch, a big punch. I didn't completely forget about this one. I just don't use it enough. And I think I'll use the pink side of this. It's the Juvia's Place Blush Volume 2. So, I say that a lot and I apologize for saying so, but I believe that this guy thought that he committed a great crime. Why do people who commit murder believe that they'll get away with it? I've never understood that. Like, maybe there's somebody out there who hasn't been found out yet, and you know that of course there's cold cases, and you know they feel like they've committed a perfect murder. Sometimes it's just they need the right piece of evidence to come along. They know who did it, and they just need the evidence to be able to, you know, convict them in a court of law. So it's like, you know, just so crazy to me that people believe that they can actually commit murder, especially this day and time. Like, I can understand like cold cases from way back when DNA may not have been a thing and they didn't test it, and you know, the digital evidence wasn't what it is today. Glazed Lit Kit from Lorelei Los Angeles. I forget to use this all the time and love it. I'm gonna use diamond. But yeah, the digital forensics, they are just so prominent today. Like, we can't go anywhere or do anything without being recorded or tracked on our phones and all that. My grandfather was still alive, he'd say, that's why I don't have a cell phone. Not so he could get away with murder, but so that no one could track him. And him being a lawyer too, like, obviously you knew you weren't going to get away with it. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. He may not have done it. I will be glad to say that I'm wrong. It doesn't look good for him right now. It doesn't look good. I used to love this, and I'm going to use it. It is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil in Taupe. I used to love this is not the right one, I don't think. This is the one I'm thinking of. It's too dark for me. So I'm going to kind of use a little bit of both. They're kind of similar in shape. If you look, this one has brow hairs on it. If you look at them, they're very similar in shape. Triangular. If I'm holding them correctly, you'll be able to tell. Triangular. This lighter one is Wet n Wild, and this one is NYX. So the Feel and Fluff is something that I used to use a lot. It's a pomade pencil, and this Wet n Wild Ultimate Brow is something I use a lot of too, because I don't have a lot of it left. So let's try this, and then I'm going to use the brush, which is a little paddle brush, like, looks like a toothbrush, to brush it through, because I think that's one of the best things about it. I remember now why I don't like this. It's very waxy. I filled them in pretty quickly though. I might go over it with the darker one just because. This one from NYX is so much better. We'll also use this that I forgot about. It's the Wet n Wild Browsessive Brow Gel. Not the best brows I've ever had, but for a quick one, that's the way to go. I'll take the Lit Kit and just put a little, I dropped it. I put a little bit of the highlight on the brow bone. Also the inner corner. Going back to Natasha Denona, I'm going to take that black and put it on the bottom lash line. It's called Spot. Taking it on a liner brush. So I did buff it out with this deeper shade and this one as well. My eyes are watering, and it's probably not looking the best under there. So if you see that, I do apologize. It's just not working in my favor today. I did forget I had this Milani black eyeliner. We'll use it. I forgot I had this one too. It's the Voluminous Noir Balm from L'Oreal. I'm country as cornbread, so, you know, I can't talk very well. I do like that mascara. I don't know about like longevity, like how long it would last. However, it's very nice. I didn't really forget about this. I just don't use it enough, so I went ahead and grabbed it. It's the Natasha Denona I Need a Rose lip crayon in Daphne. I keep saying that, don't I? I didn't forget about this. This I did forget about. This is the Ludicrous Matte Lip Crayon from Milani, and it's in the shade Can't Even. And I have these Fenty gloss bombs that I never pull out because I have other glosses that are just as good, if not better. So this is the shade Fussy. It's good, but I don't need to spend that much on a lip gloss for it to be beautiful. If you don't want to spend it on Fenty, go get you a Maybelline Lifter Gloss. They're just as good and much cheaper. In my opinion, they even like smell and taste better too. So just FYI. Here's my full face of makeup I forgot about. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that it was something that was a little fun to watch, because it was fun for me to just dig into things that I've not used in a while. I haven't used this in a while, and I did not use it on my face today. But it's like one of my favorites because I've hit pan in 3 of the 4. But I do love this. But I just used it for a mirror today. But I love this look and how it came out. I love a cool tone look. One of my faves. I don't look the greatest today. I know that. And I do apologize. But I just wanted to do something comfortable and easy and just sit down and just play in some makeup. I didn't even light my candle. I just realized, like, I just wanted to just be easy today. So that was the goal, and I feel like I've accomplished it. So you guys tell me what you think about this Murdaugh case. What do you think? What do you think about his legal counsel? I'm not loving his legal counsel, and everybody was talking about how good his what's the guy's name? It's such a weird name, and I forget it now. Of course, I forget it now. But the older gentleman who is his lead attorney, I guess, I'm not crazy about him. Like, I don't think he respects the courtroom. I don't think he respects the other attorneys. He just gets up and walks around when everybody else is like questioning. I don't like him. I'm not impressed with him. He's actually a senator as well. So maybe that's why he's he thinks he's above everybody. He came out, Harpootlian, I think is his name. He came out today and he was like, you know, maybe there were 2 shooters, and it was like he was coming up with this crazy theory, and I just checked out. I was like, I know the people in the jury are probably checked out about this too, because it just made, to me, it wasn't making any sense at all. And I thought, those people in the jury are probably thinking the same thing. They're like, this isn't making any sense. He was trying to put words into the crime scene investigator's mouth, and I didn't like that. So that's just my opinion, though. That's what I should have said about everything, shouldn't I? But yeah, so tell me what you think about that, if you know anything about it. If you didn't, and you are going to look it up and see what you think about it, let me know. I just wanted to, I know it's been a while since I talked about doing some true crime. I had some videos in the works before I posted that video, and then everybody was kind of on board with that, and I was like, yay, good. But I've not been able to sit down and actually talk about one until now. So this is the one that's on my mind right now, and I'll do a little bit better job of like being prepared next time. But this was a little bit impromptu, and I just had it on my mind and wanted to talk about it. So tell me your thoughts and opinions on the case, and if you're following and watching, and if you have any clue what I'm talking about, just let me know. So thank you guys for watching. I'm so incredibly thankful for each and every one of you that watch the videos. It makes my day when I see, you know, that a few people watch the video. It makes me happy. So thank you so very much. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And again, sorry for my appearance. I'm just taking it easy today. So hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I will stay safe, happy, and healthy, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.